In today's video, I'm reviewing a 2015 Chevy Trax. This is the first generation of the Trax, which began production in 2013, but didn't find its way to the US market until 2015. It's based on the same platform as the Chevy Aveo and the Chevy Sonic, and it's a sibling to the Buick Encore. On the styling front, I'm not crazy about the overall look of the Trax, but there's nothing that bad about it either. There's nothing that's blatantly over the top funky or quirky, and it's got a pretty clean overall look to it. Slightly sporty, slightly rugged, and pretty conservative overall. 3 different trim packages available on the Trax. They've got the base LS model, the mid-level LT trim, or this top-of-the-line LTZ package. With the LTZ, you get a pretty nice level of refinement. Of course, you've got to keep in mind that the base price on the Trax starts just over $20,000, and so it's still definitely an economy vehicle, even in the LTZ trim package. I mentioned that this is a sibling to the Buick Encore. Looks very similar aesthetically to that model, with a little bit of Chevy badging and slightly different cues in a couple areas, but overall it's got a very similar look. One interesting thing about the Trax is that you might assume that it's American because it's a Chevy, but they actually don't build any of these in the United States. They're built in South Korea, China, and Uzbekistan. Of course, vehicles of this sort are much more popular in those parts of the world, and so it makes sense that they produce them there and then import a few of them to the US. Although it's definitely a growing segment within the US market, a lot of people looking to get a vehicle that's got kind of the rugged look of an SUV, the all-wheel drive, a little bit more cargo capacity, but still maintains car-like driving and decent fuel economy. Inside the Trax, we've got a pretty nice interior, especially on this LTZ model. Got the two-tone dashboard, leather wrapped steering wheel, leather seats, sunroof, pretty nice level of standard options on the LTZ as well. Power door locks and windows, power mirrors, Bose premium audio system, which has really great sound characteristics. It's probably my favorite feature on this vehicle. Really great to be able to get a Bose sound system in a vehicle at this price point. Got power seats, automatic lights. On the steering wheel, we've got controls for cruise control, Bluetooth, and media. Instrument cluster has a nice updated modern look to it. It's got the tachometer over on the left and then a digital readout for the speedometer on the right. Got a large touchscreen here in the middle, control vehicle functions and media. Climate control with heat and air conditioning. We've also got heated seats for the driver and front passenger. Cup holders in the middle. Armrest here for the driver's side. Up top, we've got controls for the sunroof, OnStar in the mirror. Got a little hatch up here on the dashboard. One thing I'm not crazy about is some of the cheaper materials. Again, at this price point, you expect that, but listen to the hollow sound of this as I close it. Just feels really cheap. Come to the back seat, and you'll see it's fairly spacious, again, for a vehicle of this size. Do have a center armrest with cup holders. There's a power outlet down there in the middle. Seats do fold down, so we can pull that little strap here, lift this up, and then this seat will fold down flat. Really expands that cargo capacity in the rear. And we'll come around to the back, open things up. You can see that with those seats folded down, you've got a lot of cargo capacity, and even with them up, it's still fairly decent. The Trax is offered with a single engine offering. It's got a 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo with 138 horsepower. That's paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and you can get the Trax in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. 0 to 60 time is 9.3 seconds, and the EPA rating is between 24 and 26 miles per gallon in the city and 31 to 34 miles per gallon on the highway. Now, despite the fact that I'm not crazy about this segment of vehicle, there's still some good benefits with this vehicle. I think that within its class, it's definitely competitive, especially with this LTZ package. It's got a pretty nice overall refined look to it, a lot of premium features that you're not going to be able to get at this price point in other segments of vehicle. And so those are all really good. The fact that it's got all-wheel drive and it gets really good fuel economy makes it a really good option for somebody that lives in a climate where they've got inclement weather, but they don't want to be driving a true SUV. And so I get the benefits. Like, there are a lot of good things about this vehicle. I'm just not crazy about the class in general. I feel like they all tend to be very funky vehicles with kind of odd styling, a little bit quirky on the interiors, and then the powertrains just aren't that enjoyable. And this vehicle certainly falls into that class with the powertrain. It's got 138 horsepower and it drives like it. Now, to be fair, it does get good fuel economy, and it's pretty good if you're just driving the vehicle nice and easy, but if you really lay on the throttle, you're not going to get a whole lot of response. It's pretty slow accelerating, pretty slow in mountainous driving, and just isn't really a very pleasant vehicle to drive hard. Pulling onto the highway will give you a little sample of the accelerating capabilities of this vehicle, where you lay in on that throttle. So you can hear that turbo activating. Gives you a little bit of extra power, but it definitely struggles to get up to speed. Again, for its class, it's going to be pretty much on par with everything else that's out there, but I'm not giving it any slack in that sense. It still feels very underpowered. Now, if you're really tall, you might appreciate the open, spacious feel of the cabin. There's a lot of headroom. We've got a lot of space out here in front of us, and it's just a very airy environment. But if you're not super tall, it may just feel like wasted space. To me, that's kind of what you're getting with a subcompact SUV. You're getting the aesthetics of an SUV and kind of the feel of an SUV, but no real benefit. You're not getting added cargo capacity in the rear. You're not gaining a vehicle that's really off-road capable in any sense. It's kind of all wasted space, and I would prefer to just have a smaller, less headroom, less dashboard space here, be getting better aerodynamics, better fuel economy, and a better driving experience. So that's a review of the 2015 Chevy Trax. Despite the fact that I don't really care for this entire segment of vehicle, if you're looking to get into a subcompact SUV, there are a lot of real benefits with the Trax. It comes in at a competitive price point, good fuel economy, decent cargo capacity, and with the LTZ package, it comes with a pretty nice level of refinement. If you have any comments or questions on the Trax, leave them in the section below. For more car reviews, subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, thanks for watching.